I want to thank today's sponsor, AG1.
So rule number one starts off on hole number one, and that is make sure you choose a club that you have the utmost confidence in. Nobody wants to start their round off badly, because generally what happens is if you hit this first tee shot out of bounds, if you duff it along the floor, things generally get worse. So my suggestion is pick a club that you have the most confidence in to start building tempo, to start building confidence and get your game off to a good start. And believe it or not, that doesn't always mean driver off the first tee. In fact, in most cases, I would suggest you choose something different. Next up, real important message, and that's play within yourself. And what I mean by that is maybe take 3/4 swings, maybe play 75–80% of your full tilt. I've done a full video on that this week on this course this morning. It's hugely important in improving tempo, improving control of the club head and improving strike. And what I've learned over the years is most golfers are always swinging out at 100%, and that can be hugely detrimental to your overall performance. So just take a chill pill, slow down a little bit, and maybe dial it in to 80% and just see how much of a positive impact it has on your strike. Next up, rule number 4, and that's make sure you read putts properly and take the due care and attention they deserve. You fought hard to get there. Don't all of a sudden rush this one. And my recommendation is this: make sure you at least read the putt from both sides of the hole. With different light conditions, often more can be seen, or different things can be seen rather, from each side of the hole. But I'd also do a 360 and at least to the side and see if you can see any slope that you might be able to notice, whether that be up or downhill, can also give you a good read and a clue as to how hard you need to hit the putt. And then when you get there, you're confident you've done all you can to give you the very best chance of holing a putt and taking advantage of such a good approach shot. Right, let's get flag out for this one. And the next rule is about how to deal with these knee knockers. Well, it's perhaps a little bit further than I should have put that one. We're probably looking at 4 foot, and the kind of putts that we hate. We hate finishing these things off. We dribble at them, we get a little bit weak, a little bit tentative. But I'm going to tell you about a rule that I've been sort of living by on the greens for this kind of thing in the last few weeks. Tom Atkinson taught me one thing in my little putting lesson, and that was not to focus on the cup, but to focus on a more minute detail, maybe at the back of the cup. And that might be a blade of grass, it might be a little indentation on the cup itself, something that we can really drill down our focus on. And then all we're doing is really concentrating on that as being our sort of significant area. And then we've got to apply a much more positive putt. And what I found is that I've holed so many more of those putts. The hole itself seems to be so much bigger when I'm concentrating on that finite little detail. So give it a try, and I'm pretty sure you'll start to shave a few putts per round if you adopt that rule.
Now, before I get into the next 5 rules, and quite possibly the most important rule of all, I want to thank today's sponsor, AG1. As many of you know, I've been drinking AG1 for over 12 months, and it has helped with my immune system, my energy levels, and my gut health, and it has just had a major upgrade. After 15 years of research, millions invested in innovation, and 4 human clinical trials, the next AG1 upgrade is here, and it's their most significant innovation yet. So what's new? Well, first of all, more magnesium. Increased magnesium supports your muscle function, nervous system, and electrolyte balance. There's also new gut bacteria, 5 instead of 2 strains of bacteria. This is to reflect the latest in microbiome science. These bacteria are typically found in healthy guts. AG1 is supported by clinical studies, which is hugely important to me. AG1 has over 15 years of research and development, which gives me huge confidence in the product. I can only recommend it, and if you're unsure, there is no risk with a 30-day money-back guarantee. No shipping costs, no contract period, and you can pause and cancel at any time. Simply go to drinkag1.com/averagegolfer to get 10 instead of 5 travel packs for your on the go, and the welcome kit worth £58 for free when you take out a monthly subscription.
Now, next up is this kind of situation that can cause all kind of problems, and the rule I would suggest is play percentage golf. There's plenty of situations that I could demonstrate that around Denby Golf Club. This is a perfect one. Direct line to the flag is the angle of the bunker, so I need to chip it over that angle, let it release into the flag. Brilliant, dead easy. Or is it? No, it's not. Not for a lot of golfers anyway. And you'll know by your own ability levels, do you fancy that shot or not? What I'm going to suggest is this. If you don't, because of a potential card wrecker, if I don't get it right, if I duff it, if I don't get that chip over this bunker, I'm in there and I'm adding to my score. What I'm going to do is take Texas wedge. I know I've got to aim left of the flag, so it's going to take me away from the hole slightly, but I don't care, because all I want to do is get myself safely on there and give myself a chance of making a 2-putt from wherever this gets me. So go down the left, give it a bit of a hoof. I know I'm going away from the flag, but I've got a chance of making an up and down from there, and at worst, I think I can 2-putt at least. Right, next rule is a simple one. Play to your handicap, and play to your handicap, not somebody else's, not your playing partner's. And what do I mean by that? Well, quite simply, I've seen loads of golfers turn up on that first tee, and they've tried to emulate what they see their playing partner do, even though they might be playing at 10 or 15 shots lower in the handicap than what yours actually is. So when you see your pal grab for his drive and he bombs it 300 yards, don't try and keep up with him. Play your game, choose your 5-wood if that's the club you choose, and don't try and play to his handicap. Make sure you play to yours. Right, next rule, ditch these things. Stop trying to find flags when the whole point of this game is playing percentages. Find the middle of the green and you're never going to be too far away from that pin. Even more so if the flag is tucked left, it's tucked right, you're going over the top of bunkers. Manage the game, manage your expectations, realise what level you're at, and realise that by being in the middle of that green, you're always going to give yourself a chance. Whereas going for that flag and using these things can often be really dangerous and detrimental to your score. So if you really want to consider lowering that score, I suggest ditching these things, work with GPS and get to the middle of those greens. Hopefully 3 things demonstrated in one shot, and it worked out quite well. And that was left of the flag, so manage that kind of scenario. Anything right is a dead ball, so we've got to make sure that we're aiming to safe zones, things that we can continue to score and build our score and not make huge errors. The other thing was up the club, so 1 club greater than I would normally take, but 75% swing. Keep that tempo and control of the club head as being the main focus, and don't go all kinds of erratic. Both of those things were implemented. I found a safe spot on the green, I kept the control of the club head, and now hopefully I've got a 2-putt to make par. So rule number 8, eliminate that hero shot from your game. We all love to try it. I'm in this position, I'm 100 yards from the flag. I've got a big old tree in my way, and I can just get my 58 wedge, float it over the top, drop it on the pin, putt for the birdie and walk away, and I'm a hero. Or can I? The reality of that, do I have that shot in my bag, and how many times can I produce it? Well, for me, probably not very often. So the logical choice is this: just take a pitching wedge, chip and run around the side, around the gap, get it somewhere on that dance floor. Make sure that I'm walking off here with a reasonable score. I'm not trying to be a hero. Now my next rule is, I suppose, a little bit of a hybrid of a number of things that we've spoken about so far. My God, that's a loud sheep. Painful one as well. And that is play to your strengths. And that means choosing clubs that you're comfortable with, taking on shot types that you're comfortable with, dropping what you think you should play and play what actually works for you. It's dead simple, I know, but keep it in mind. Make sure you're playing to your strengths and not your weaknesses. My God. That sheep sounds like it's having a bad day. I'm hitting the ball so well today, by the way, if anyone's interested. I'll have to check on that sheep. So, sheep's okay, it was just, yeah, he was just abusing me, simple as that. That has to be one of the worst forms of heckling known to man. You should stick him on waste management on the 16th and see how they deal with that. Okay, man, Jesus. Well, it's a tricky little 2-putt, perhaps not as easy as I first thought, but I've been to both sides of the hole. I've got an idea, and I also know that it's downhill. So hopefully, with all that in mind, we can put one somewhere within tappable distance, and when we get to that, we'll be focusing on a small point at the back of the hole, drilling it with confidence and hopefully making my putt from there. And my final piece of advice, rule number 10, and perhaps the most important of all, is play the game with a smile on your face. Because let's be honest, it's really lucky to be out here. It's great fun, and often throwing clubs around, throwing tantrums, I've never seen any golfer recover from that and have a good round of golf. So start the game with a smile on your face. When a few things go wrong, despite all the rules that I've just suggested, they will go wrong, keep on smiling, keep that chin up, and I assure you will end up with a better score than getting all miserable, getting all narky and throwing your toys out the pram. Anyway, final piece of advice, I'm all done. Thank you for watching. 10 rules, some of them will apply to you, some of them won't. Take from it what you will, and hopefully it helps you in some way lowering your score next time you play some golf. And I'll see you all soon.